Tyrion Lannister. A man of small stature, often underestimated, yet one of the smartest players in the Game of Thrones. In a world ruled by power, fear, and blood, Tyrion knew that brute strength was not enough. He understood that knowledge, cunning, and careful planning could often achieve what armies could not. While knights and kings fought battles with swords and shields, Tyrion fought battles with his mind. He was the only man who truly knew how to play the game. From the very beginning, Tyrion's life was never easy. Born into the wealthy and powerful Lannister family, he was the son of Tywin Lannister, a man feared by everyone in Westeros. But Tyrion was not like his father or his sister Cersei. He was a dwarf in a family that valued strength, beauty, and appearances. Many looked down on him, mocked him, and tried to push him aside. But Tyrion learned something important from this. People always underestimate those they see as weak. And underestimation is the perfect advantage in the Game of Thrones. Tyrion's intelligence and wit became his weapons. He could read people, understand their motives, and use their weaknesses against them. He knew that words could be sharper than swords. In fact, he often said, "A mind needs books as a sword needs a whetstone." Tyrion loved to read, to learn, and to understand the world better than anyone else. Knowledge gave him power, even if the world did not recognize it. And Tyrion understood that in Westeros, power without knowledge could lead to a fast death. One of Tyrion's earliest lessons in the game came from his own family. Tywin, his father, never saw him as a worthy son. Cersei, his sister, treated him with disdain and often plotted against him. But Tyrion did not fight them with anger or violence. Instead, he used strategy and patience. He waited for the right moment, and when the moment came, he acted decisively. This ability to stay calm under pressure and plan ahead is what made him one of the greatest players in Westeros. Tyrion's role in the politics of King's Landing shows just how clever he could be. As Hand of the King to Joffrey Baratheon, he faced impossible challenges. The city was full of threats, rebellious nobles, assassins, and spies. Tyrion was smaller than his enemies, weaker in battle, but he had something they often lacked: his mind. He built alliances carefully, understood who could be trusted, and manipulated situations to his advantage. When the city was under attack, Tyrion's planning and clever strategies saved countless lives. While others relied on armies and soldiers, Tyrion relied on thinking ahead, seeing moves that others could not, and turning dangerous situations into opportunities. One of Tyrion's most famous skills was his ability to survive in impossible situations. In a world where betrayal and murder were common, Tyrion always seemed to escape danger. He survived the Battle of Blackwater, even when most thought the city would fall. Not with swords, but with clever tactics, preparation, and a deep understanding of human nature. Tyrion knew the strengths and weaknesses of his enemies and used them to his advantage. Even when facing overwhelming odds, he could find a way out. This was not luck. It was strategy. It was playing the game better than anyone else. Tyrion's skill was not just in politics and strategy, but also in understanding people. He knew what they feared, what they desired, and how to influence them. He treated allies with kindness when needed, and enemies with cunning. For example, he knew how to negotiate with Varys, the master of whispers, to gather information and make informed decisions. He could charm the right people at the right time, using humor and intelligence to gain their trust. Tyrion understood one important truth: power is meaningless if you cannot influence those around you. But Tyrion's life was not just about winning. He was also aware of morality, fairness, and justice. Unlike many in Westeros, he did not kill for pleasure, and he often defended the weak. He sympathized with the oppressed, the poor, and those who were cast aside. This made him different from many powerful men who only cared about wealth and status. Tyrion believed that using intelligence to protect and improve the lives of others was also a form of strength. In a world full of cruelty, this made him unique. Tyrion's humor was another part of his power. He used jokes, sarcasm, and clever words to survive difficult moments. People often underestimated him because of his jokes, thinking he was harmless. But Tyrion knew that humor could disarm enemies and reveal truth in ways that violence could not. His sharp tongue became a shield, and his laughter often hid the sharp mind working behind it. Even in prison, facing death, Tyrion remained clever, finding ways to turn his situation to his advantage. Love and relationships were complicated for Tyrion. He faced betrayal, heartbreak, and loneliness. But even in love, he used his intelligence to navigate a dangerous world. His friendship with Jaime Lannister, his bond with Varys, and even his understanding of Daenerys Targaryen show that Tyrion could see beyond appearances. He knew the importance of loyalty, trust, and alliances. These were not just feelings, they were tools in the Game of Thrones. And Tyrion used them wisely, knowing that in Westeros, betrayal is always near. Tyrion's influence went beyond politics. He inspired people with his courage and wit. Even those who doubted him often found themselves respecting him. He showed that size and appearance do not determine ability. In many ways, Tyrion represented the idea that intelligence, patience, and cunning are as important as strength and wealth. People who played the game with swords often failed, while Tyrion, who played the game with his mind, often succeeded. Even when facing death, Tyrion never lost his understanding of the game. He escaped imprisonment, outsmarted killers, and continued to shape events around him. His ability to see the bigger picture, to anticipate consequences, and to act strategically kept him alive in a world where survival was never guaranteed. Tyrion's story teaches that power comes not only from fear and violence but from knowledge, planning, and understanding human nature. To play the game, one must think ahead, stay calm, and be willing to use both wit and courage. In the end, Tyrion Lannister is remembered not for his wealth, family name, or physical strength, but for his mind. He was the only man in Westeros who truly understood how to play the game. He turned weaknesses into strengths, used intelligence where others relied on force, and survived in a world that often tried to destroy him. His story shows that the true power in life comes from understanding people, planning carefully, and never underestimating what one small mind can achieve. Tyrion Lannister proved that even the smallest player can change the course of history if they know how to play the game. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see you in the next one.